Good morning. It's Friday. It is the Friday Grief Chat with Jill and Deb. Deb is missing, but she'll be on in just a second. She's getting herself all outfitted and stuff. Oh, Friday. And next week we have a guest. And in a couple more weeks after that, we're going to have a guest. So we're super excited about that. And today we have lots of things to talk about. And there's the talker. There we are. Yeah, we're getting ready for the La Crosse, Wisconsin International Death, Grief, and Bereavement Conference. And we're trying out the looks. So Deb's got hers this week.
Look, I lost my nose. Wait. Here. This is pretty much how Daryl and I have been feeling.
Oh, no.
We have some sort of crud. Oh, here we go. What do you think?
Oh, that's perfect. The red nose with the, like it.
Do you like it?
I do. Deb is for those listening in, Deb is the Grim Reaper with the red nose. We love that. Because we're getting ready to hang out together in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And we're really hoping some of you will join us there.
We are.
It's our favorite thing to do.
Here, let me see you better.
Oh, look.
It is. And have ice cream.
I showed
and
gluten-free pizza. You did. Here you are.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. How is you? You guys are sick.
Daryl and I... he got some sort of crud and I came in with it 3 days later. So you can tell in my voice, it's a little more nasal. Yeah. I've been coughing and sleeping and tested negative for COVID. So, it is what it is. So we just take our cough drops. I know I have one up here and, yeah, that's a bummer. So I think I'll be better by, he's not coughing as much. And
we had somebody come into the office the other day and they said they were sick again. And I'm like, then why are you here? None of us want to get sick. This is why we have paid sick time. Go home. We don't do sick in the office. We do telehealth. We do bed rest. We do sunshine. Yes. We do fresh air. We do not do come into the office when you are sick.
Exactly.
Don't do that to the rest of us, and don't do that to your clients or to anyone else. Take care of you.
I think Daryl picked it up at work. He worked a lot, and because I didn't get anything, because he got it first. That's how I know. So whatever it wasn't from me and North Carolina. And I did see, walking around little kids these days, they're like little petri dishes.
Oh, absolutely. School is out around here in 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. And then the petri dish effect goes down. So, because unfortunately, parents are not sending kids to camp as much anymore, so they're not getting camp cooties. I think campus should be a necessity for children.
I know. Sorry, listeners.
It's all right. My goodness.
So, this week, some of my friends went back into the hospital. I'm too old to be like having friends do those scary things. Like,
yeah, no, we shouldn't have to be in the hospital for illness. That's a serious yuck.
No.
You don't sound so good at all.
Something else. It was really interesting, as Jill and as our listening audience knows, we're getting ready to do this presentation in La Crosse. And last Saturday, I spent a lot of time like looking at all those videos
Mm-hmm.
You know, Disney, DDD, Disney does death.
Right.
And it does it, not all, I guess, I mean, I knew it. I do like Disney movies, and I always have. And I've been in love with, Mickey Mouse as a boyfriend, and since I was little. And once again, another unavailable creature. And, they don't always do death. I kept thinking someone died in Dumbo, and no one died. It was, okay, don't go, because I want to go political for a second, but I'm going to bring it back in. They took Dumbo's mom away. All she was doing is protecting her kid, and she looked hysterical. It was the way she wanted to protect her children, and then they were separated. It was heart-wrenching, and I know it worked out, but at the same time, Disney really grabs you.
And we actually use that scene in teaching future adoptive and foster parents the experience of children who are being removed, and the experience of the parent, and that the parent may have done something that necessitated the child being removed, but that's still a loving parent, and they're feeling very helpless. Mm-hmm.
That is an excellent example. A lot of them, sometimes people died or characters died before you even got into that, before you even sort of are in the movie. That ancestor had died, like in Coco, right? He had died long before. I'm just thinking, Jill, there is I think it's Pixar, and I think it said we should put in, I think it's called Soul, Heart and Soul. It's with Jon Batiste, Heart and Soul. And that's one more to add, because we don't really have the after death scenes, or what happens when you die scenes, as a way to talk about generational. And I don't think of after death scenes very much as generational as they are cultural. And the same way, different religious cultures, there's
handle
similarities.
Those moments.
Yes. They're all very similar. And perhaps part of the information we have, and you can tell me what you think about this, in some Christian religions, the streets are paved with gold. And, you're going to heaven to meet Jesus. So it's like, how many?
And that's interpreted differently and across even Christian religious.
Yes, exactly. I mean, when you say the streets are paved with gold, I'm thinking yellow brick road. I mean, that'll tell you what a bad Christian I am. But I think about how, and it makes me wonder how many people came back from the dead to give that kind of description. That's what I
make it a safe description for someone who's pre-death.
Yes, or someone who's had a near-death experience. That's what I think. I just wonder.
If you think about,
because a lot of what we're doing
is, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was thinking not, and this is not Disney, but I was thinking about the movie Ghost when
Yes,
he comes back to be protective and caring and all of that sort of thing. So we do have some movies that portray those moments. Mm-hmm.
We also, in that particular case, he came back for justice.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It looks, and people, and I'm saying in general, lots of times justice looks like they have to die, or they have to suffer, or they suffer and die, unless there's some sort of turn of events or something. It's just so fascinating, don't you think?
It is, and there's so many different ways it's portrayed, and people need to see the ones that fit for them, so they go look for the movie that represents their view, which is fine. You know, I'm going to be the last person to tell someone, no, you have to think it's this or you have to think it's that. You know, for some people, it's as soon as I die, I'm going to immediately go find my new life as someone else because I will be transformed. And for others, it's when I die, I disappear and my existence just disappears. Wow. The other thing I'm so sorry you're sick, I think is interesting, and I don't know how we weave it into that, but that we could weave into conversation with somebody here on the show in the future, is they've just come out with some new studies which show there's a literal light that leaves the body when someone dies. And we've known that as people who've been end of life care providers. You can see that transition and you can see that lifting and the change, but they've actually measured it now.
Well, in terms of when a person dies, they have also measured the brain actually stays alive or is transmitting signals. They don't know what signals.
For a short time.
For 20 seconds, around 20 seconds. And, you know, that to me is fascinating. They proposed in the article about perhaps that's what they mean when they say your life flashes before your eyes. And people who have been really ill talk about, you know, and it's proven that they're hanging on by a thread, if not less, after they do maybe it's CPR or they jumpstart the heart, you know, or whatever is performed to bring the person back to a heartbeat. And they already know with so many minutes being under, the brain doesn't, they don't know what kind of brain damage they have. Although I was, you know, there's a magazine for everything, right?
Of course there is.
Weird stuff for everything. In one medical magazine, when I first discovered, like, it was called X-Ray of the Month, and they would show like when people have had nail gun nails in their head and it missed puncturing the brain, right? How does that happen? But in this particular one, it was probably one of the mortician threads that I went through, weird autopsies. And so there's weird autopsies. And this one, I think it was a child, but an older child. And they had a brain. They could they only knew a few words and they could only speak a little, but their entire brain, our brain weighs about 5 pounds or between 3 and 5 pounds, right?
Right.
Their brain was the size of a walnut. And this is what they could do in life, which is just make some sounds and know some words. Isn't that fascinating?
There is so much more knowledge that we have now than we did
died
before.
Not because of brain stuff. But all around, it really shows the vastness of, basically we're a cucumber with emotions, right? Because we have like 90% water, right? And it's amazing what the human body does. I find it fascinating. And one more thing, in Judaism, they really focus not on the afterlife. They always focus what you could do in this life. Because when you're dead, you're dead. They don't go past that.
Yes.
It's what you're doing right now. So
that counts, which is what a lot of atheists share, and folks who are non-religious, where a lot of them sit. And it's up to the individual. Yeah. We all find out afterward whether or not there is an afterward.
Or
and that is the part where we have to have hope and joy and a sense of humor. And if there's haunting, there will be humor. There will definitely be humor.
My mother definitely, according to me, because I'm the one who experienced it, or so did Daryl, my mom had, I feel her presence, and she has a sense of humor in the afterlife, as one that believes in an afterlife.
Right.
So, yeah. So what else is going on?
We're going to have rain this weekend, and I'm going to enjoy it because my garden is busting out and needs some extra watering. And we're in the middle of I am in the middle of getting our new nonprofit office cleaned up and fixed up and painted out. And so not much sleep on the Jill side right now. And presentation next week for the our Caregiver Alliance, and some of that changed rapidly early this week, so I am rapidly rewriting the presentation to turn in today. I don't understand why people who are putting on conferences want the entire presentation weeks out, because I am a percolator and you are a percolator. And so I have the concept, and then I think it through, and then I think about what are the things I want to bring in. So what other parts of grief do I want to bring in for caregivers and for aging? And wait, there's this piece, like the thing with Dumbo, and the Dumbo loss is not just, that's not death, that's a non-death, that's a non-traditional loss, right? And that goes to all the thoughts everywhere. And then I need time to scramble the slides around a little more. And I need time to add a few more things. And wait, I don't want to really go that. So I'm going to take that rabbit trail out. Don't make me turn my slides in early, people.
I know.
Because they're not going to be the same. I guarantee it is not going to be the same by the time I get there. Because the night before when I'm practicing, because those of us who actually do presenting and do speaking, as Deb and I do, we practice up to the night before, and then it's a little time off and then go in fresh. So you change things.
That's absolutely exactly.
I need to be able to build the humor in. I need to be able to put a couple jogs in. I need to, right? And then I think of some
Absolutely.
cool thing I need to bring along. And so then I need to run out and get that. Like when I go in with a tomato plant in my arms.
Oh,
right.
Wait, let me explain to our listening audience that Jill thought of something last minute for one of her presentations and in La Crosse, and she had Amazon deliver it to the hotel.
Yes, I did.
Or maybe it was Home Depot. I don't know what it was, but she bought it online and they delivered it while we were there.
That's how I operate.
That is.
And it makes the presentations more fun because there's spontaneity built in after you've done the percolation. Right.
You know, for my Sunday talks at the church, I could have it all written out and I can have it all put together. But like last Sunday, Daryl was really ill, and so were the other people that would work the video to make it on Facebook. And I said, well, we're going to write a letter to our people on Facebook. So sorry, due to technical difficulties. I should have said technical and germ difficulties, but I didn't. And we just all sat in a circle and people really appreciate. I asked questions. What's your definition of this? Because both Jill and I really want audience participation, as we don't just lecture.
That's boring.
We interact.
It's boring. It's demeaning. It's a lousy way to teach something. It's not how it should work, right? We should have the interaction.
That's certainly the way you and I don't like to work. We need a full physical, emotional, and I'm going to use spiritual senses experience. I remember I brought last time when I spoke and you were ill, I brought a 30-second dance party. I'll bring it again, because if people are like if it's after lunch or something, I saw someone sort of close their eyes and then I hit that thing and it said 30-second dance party, ding, 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 everybody up, you know, it's just right in the middle of the talk. So I think it's important. Yeah. So,
especially when you're doing discussions about end of life and grief.
Yeah. So yes, people, we even here as Jill and I are talking, and I'm like, we are coming up to 5 years. I can't believe it. I mean, and really either one of us may miss 3 the entire year.
Right.
So 49, there's 52 weeks. So either one of us are at 49 a couple times to do self-care for both of us. What we did is play an old one. But, you know, we're
present because it matters.
We're present. And that is an example for people. What is the one thing you can do? You can show up. You can show up with a text. You can show up with a phone call. You can show up however you are able. And, you know, I just think that's important.
It is.
People don't realize that when you, I guess I can't. Oh, there we go.
There, you were freezing.
Are you there?
People don't realize.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
People don't realize and I thought it was interesting. I just cut out when I said people don't realize you gotta show up. That should be a musical song. You gotta show up, show up, show up. So,
which is what we have tried to do for the last 5 years, is show up and hold the space and have the talks. And that's why we've got your friend coming next week. Now I've got my new person coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We've got the material already out on the web about the one for next week, and why it's important to talk about all the things we talk about, because there's so much that is not death related, but is grief related. And there is so much that it takes there are so many ways we can find to come through grief and to reframe our lives and to find new life. One of the people that has been watching us for a long time, I don't see her on here today, is someone who lost 3 family members to COVID at the very beginning, and 3 very close family members. And this week she's honoring that loss by touring Europe with her surviving sibling, and has been lighting candles in churches across Italy for those folks. Right? There's lots of ways you can honor a loss and keep that person alive.
Tomorrow would be Daryl's mom's birthday. I don't usually count how many birthdays. Some people say 100 and whatever. But I just know we would celebrate her birthday on the 17th. And so I may have to suggest that either we get carry out of one of the things she would make, or just have something to eat in her honor. So
absolutely,
I really like that.
Birthdays matter, and we should remember them always. Right? In our church, we do like an anniversary. If you have an anniversary this month, please stand. We can honor it. And I was like, which one? This was an anniversary with Linda, or with Casper, the anniversary with Stacy. The other anniversary with Linda, because we got married 3 times. The other anniversary with Casper, we got married 2 times because of all of the Prop 8 stuff. Like, you should be able to honor the dates. But then I'd be standing for every single month of the year almost, and that's a little crazy. So, you keep it, you do it your way. Right? And tomorrow's my sister's birthday. So you've got a birthday on.
For those, I do. And it's one of my closest friends' birthday tomorrow.
Nice.
I always remembered the 2 with. Oh, there we go. It looks like, and we've been having some heavy storms here, so that could be why power is in and out. So I apologize. Next week, we're going to have my friend Mandy, and Mandy is a tattoo artist, and she does
memorial tattoos.
She does grief tattoos, and I love that. And so she's going to talk about some of those things. I'm going to send her some questions and also ask her, what would you like to tell our listening audience? And if you have any pictures, any slides, and we could put that in.
I will get my daughter on to send hers, because she's got 2 beautiful memorial. She's got a combination memorial tattoo for both of her late moms, both Linda and Casper, and then she's got one for her kitty. So I will get those submitted. Yeah. And they are stunning. They're absolutely stunning.
I would.
And we want Deb to feel better, so it doesn't feel like Deb's memorial next week. Oh my goodness, Deb. All right. So we can laugh about these things. Next week, memorial tattoo. Soon after that, we will have someone who does readings, and is going to do a reading live on air. For one or both of us, depending on her energy level. It takes a lot of energy to do those, but we're working on that. And then I'm working on another guest who's facing grief and loss over recurrence of illnesses that have taken some of the spark, and he's trying to maintain employment and maintain a busy and fun career while fighting illness, which is another kind of grief that I know a lot of our listeners have also experienced.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening later or whenever you choose to listen to us and however often you do. Thank you for being part of our lives.
Absolutely. We are so glad you're here, and give us a like anywhere you find us because we like to be shared. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Adios.